Torrential rain delayed the start of the first race of the Formula Parma Audi Euro Series at Oulton Park. The cars were coming to the grid on slick tyres as the downpour started, and they all had to go back in and change to wets. Well, when they did, Dane Jesper Karlsson was leading them away from his second pole position of the season. But in the streaming wet conditions, the race was guaranteed to be exciting and a bit of a lottery. The Rooster Tails of spray starting immediately as Karlsson was jumped by the second row men. In number 7, Justin Keane from second on the grid and Robbie Kerr from third going around the outside. Conditions truly dreadful as they headed down the hill. Kerr in second place on the grid but leading them down the hill. And Karlsson in the number 22 pole-sitting car pushed out at the bottom. He wasn't the only one to find the grass either. The race leader had gone in too fast and Justin Keane was out of the action. Karlsson's teammate Jackie van der Ende in the 44 machine putting in a move here at the Fulston chicane. Rather ambitious and not quite the result he had hoped for. Out front then, Robbie Kerr from third spot on the grid, but being chased by Damien Faulkner, the Irish driver. Further back, more mayhem. Drivers trying to find a way to pass when they can't even see where they're going. Kerr, Faulkner, and in third place the number 1 car of Richard Tarling, who'd started 7th and had a mercurial opening lap. Meanwhile, there was retirement further down the field. Karlsson's car badly damaged, and also out the number 6 machine of the American driver Paul Edwards. Onboard camera with Robbie Kerr gives you at least some idea what the conditions were like. Don't forget, this is the man who leads the race, and even he can't see where he's going. Straight lining the Knickerbrook chicane and losing the engine before getting it going again and rejoining several places down the order. Well, all of that left Damien Faulkner out front as they scrambled the all-wheel drive Audi safety car, and probably living up to its name there as the safest car to be on in these conditions. Cars dotted around the track. Faulkner following around behind the safety car, leading the field as they all bunched up again. And once the marshals had done their job, the safety car pulled off. And once more it was down to Damien Faulkner to make the best of drying conditions now. Richard Tarling trying to get a run on him but failing. Third place Christian Hohenadel in the 99 car. The German driver going well from 10th spot on the grid. And the 2 Team Brass cars which had survived the first melee made contact further back. Justin Keane picking his way through it. Don't forget he was the early race leader. Alan Simonsen and Jackie van der Ende making contact. Simonsen at least able to continue. Van der Ende not quite so fortunate. Showing just how damp the conditions still were offline is Judd Copeland. His number 3 machine all the way down the grassy bit of Deer Leap that you really don't want to investigate. It'll take him a lap or two to regain his composure after that wide-eyed moment. And then the rain returned, the umbrellas going back up, and Faulkner looking ever more reassured in his lead. On target for the championship win that he's been hoping for all season. Last year's title runner-up, taking the checkered flag first time out at Oulton Park. So delight and maximum points for Damien Faulkner, something perhaps he might not have hoped for from 5th on the grid in dry conditions, but the weather played into his hands. So Faulkner starting with that victory behind him. Dr. Jonathan Palmer, the brains behind the operation, closest to the camera there, and the rest of the team overseeing the car. Of course, all these cars provided by the Palmer Audi operation. The drivers just arrive and drive. Oh, and supply the finance as well. A rolling start for this one. Faulkner on pole, Karlsson again quick in the second qualifying on the outside front row from Hohenadel, Kerr, Besson and Simonsen. 12th fastest qualifier Derek Hayes was unwell and he didn't take the start, but Faulkner did by the scruff of the neck. On board with Justin Keane. He started in 7th position, led the first wet race early on, until about here where it all went wrong and he ran out of road at the bottom of the hill. Black car of Miku Santavir to the fin, having a good start. Riding with Damien Faulkner, the race leader. And this is very much a view that everybody had hoped for in the first race at Oulton Park, didn't get a chance to. On the full Grand Prix circuit, running all the way down to the Shell Oils hairpin. Plenty of jostling for position on the opening lap. A few drivers undoubtedly using their extra squirt of power from the boost button to try and get ahead of rivals into the tight hairpin. Through the Oulton chicane, and then over the hill and down the other side. Another good overtaking opportunity into the Knickerbrook chicane. Faulkner, though, safely out front. And in second place again is the 79 car of Robbie Kerr. Another great start from the second row of the grid to put him from fourth into second at the rolling start. Right there at the tail, Topi Sergula battling with Paul Parsons. So the pole position man leading this time, Jesper Karlsson from the outside of the front row in third spot. And he's already under pressure from behind. The German driver Christian Hohenadel, who went so well in both qualifying sessions, locks up down the inside. Well, it looked as though he got away without making contact there. Faulkner still out front and Hohenadel still pushing very hard indeed. There is Richard Tarling making up a place at the end of the straight. So Tarling moves forward one from his 13th place grid spot. Two dreadful qualifying sessions for the reigning champion. While Tarling's now up to 8th, right behind us as we ride in 7th place in car 7 with Justin Keane. Ahead is Alan Simonson. Big slide there from Robbie Kerr in 2nd place. Down through Ireland and into the Shell Oils hairpin. Oh, and Simonson runs wide. Justin Keane is right with him, right on the inside of the hairpin there, getting better traction down the straight. Can he capitalise on that? Not close enough to do anything at Fulston's. Maybe this is worth a boost button attack up the hill. Let's see if Justin Keane can do anything as they come over the top of the rise into our sight. He's right behind the Dane, looks to the inside, can't make it though. He's got Richard Tarling next up, and then Miku Santavirta. The rest of the field coming streaming through here. There's the number 9 car of Paul Parsons. And out front, the number 2 machine, Damien Faulkner. And he's still got Robbie Kerr right with him. Jesper Karlsson is in 3rd place, still ahead of Christian Hohenadel, the yellow car, and then the silver machine. Oh, and a big lock-up from Robbie Kerr. Right front wheel, and Hohenadel looks again. It's Bruno Besson in 5th place on his own, ahead of this squabbling group. So the top 3 go through. Bruno Besson now in 4th place. Then Simonson and Keane battling for 5th and 6th. Tarling in 7th. Santavirta in 8th place. Paul Edwards there in car number 6 in 9th spot. And there is Robbie Kerr. Oh! Kerr all over the grass on the outside. Got it completely wrong coming down through Cascades. And at the bottom of the hill, it couldn't have gone worse. From one side of the track to the other and back again onto the grass. So Robbie Kerr gone from 2nd spot. The pressure is relieved on Damien Faulkner. Now Jesper Karlsson runs in 2nd place. Bruno Besson, by elimination alone, has moved from 5th to 3rd in 2 laps. And look at the gap that Faulkner has. Well, the Irish driver opening up a big race advantage as Hohenadel comes into the pits after a 2nd spin. And there, looking back, is Robbie Kerr disappearing from the fray, coming back, just behind Bruno Besson. And that must have worried the Frenchman considerably. Well, Faulkner, as I said, opening up a big race advantage and a similar one at the top of the championship table. But Jesper Karlsson now starting to run him down. Bruno Besson, who won at Spa-Francorchamps for the first time in Formula Parma Audi's Euro Series, in 3rd place. And Alan Simonson, the Dane, in 4th. Justin Keane still there in 5th place. And Richard Tarling, the reigning champion, now up to 6th spot. But it's last year's series runner-up, Faulkner, who's doing all the front running, killing most of the small insects around the circuit as well, if the camera lens is anything to judge by. There's Besson. Right behind him, Simonson, with Keane still in hot pursuit. Hasn't been able to find a way past and has dropped back for a lap or two to give himself some breathing space and to allow his tyres a little bit of a chance to recover. Now starting to remount his attack on the Dane. Simonson again, very wide in. You've got to keep your wheels right down in the groove at the bottom. That's the quickest way round the hairpin. Still, he managed to not lose anything there, I don't think, to Justin Keane. Keane flying over the curbs though through Fulstons. He is closer now, and so is Carlson in second place, closer to leader Faulkner. In fact, they're all starting to close up a little bit, because this battle for fourth is catching Bruno Besson in third place. And still Justin Keane all over the back of Jesper Carlson. Well, Damien Faulkner perhaps easing off a little bit. Perhaps he has not quite judged the setup right for the dry circuit. Certainly didn't have too much of a problem banging in a fast lap in qualifying to take pole position. Well, Damien Faulkner doesn't need to worry. The checkered flag saves him from any assault from behind. Jesper Carlson couldn't get close enough, quick enough. Closed right up at the end, but by then Faulkner was backing off. Besson in third place, Simonsen fourth, Keane in fifth place. Never did quite manage to get past Alan Simonsen, and behind for sixth spot, Richard Tarling, Miku Santavirta and Paul Edwards all squabbling close together. Tarling gets it and Santavirta just holding off the American to the line. Robbie Kerr smoking them up around the outside of the number 3 machine as he picks up a spot right to the flag from Judd Copeland. Well, in the end, Robbie Kerr finishing in 13th place, but Faulkner, another win for him, and he leads the championship comfortably.